Have you ever wondered if a royal portrait could hide secrets so deep they could rewrite history itself? Welcome to Old Topic. Today, we're diving into a centuries-old enigma, the mystery of the Spanish royal portraits. What do they truly reveal? Are they just artistic representations of monarchs? Or visual codes hiding forbidden truths? Our story begins in the opulent courts of 16th century Spain, a time when the Spanish Empire was the most powerful in the world. Kings and queens commissioned grand portraits not just to show their wealth and power, but to shape their legacy. Yet, among these grand images, a few have puzzled historians, artists, and conspiracy theorists for generations. Let's talk about one of the most iconic portraits, Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez, painted in 1656. At first glance, it appears to be a simple family scene. Princess Margarita at the center, surrounded by her maids of honor, a dog, and a few dwarfs. But look again, Velázquez painted himself into the scene. A mirror in the background shows the reflection of King Philip IV and Queen Mariana. But here's the question, are they actually in the room? Or is this an illusion? Art historians argue that Velázquez was playing with perception, challenging the viewer to question reality, but others think something more disturbing is going on. Some believe that Las Meninas was Velázquez's silent rebellion against the monarchy, a coded message perhaps suggesting the instability and surveillance within the royal court. And then there's the portrait of Charles II of Spain, often called the Bewitched. His face looks almost ghostly, pale, gaunt, with sunken eyes. Historians now know Charles suffered from numerous health problems, likely caused by generations of inbreeding within the Habsburg dynasty. But at the time, people believed he was cursed. Why then did official portraits still depict him as regal and majestic? Simple, because the Spanish court feared that any sign of weakness would spark rebellion. Some artists were forced to correct the image of the king, but a few earlier drafts, sketches that somehow survived, show a different man, frail, disturbed. But the story doesn't stop there. In the Prado Museum in Madrid, there exists a lesser-known painting titled The Family of Philip V, created in the 18th century. At first glance, it's a typical royal group portrait, but if you look closely at the children, some seem to stare directly at the viewer. One child holds a fan that, when examined under infrared light, reveals an image of a severed hand. Yes, you heard that right, a severed hand. What could it mean? Some say it's a symbol of betrayal. Others link it to an ancient Spanish legend, the story of La Mano de Dios, the hand of God, said to appear to warn of political corruption or coming disaster. Shortly after this painting was completed, the Spanish Empire entered a period of sharp decline. Coincidence? Let's now turn to the mystery of Queen Isabella II's portraits. Unlike her predecessors, Isabella's image shifted constantly. In one portrait she appears young, confident, and bold. In another, painted just months later, she looks fearful, almost paranoid. These portraits were made by different artists, but under the same instructions from the crown. One artist, Federico de Madrazo, later confessed in private letters that Isabella often changed her mind about how she wanted to be portrayed. One day she is a saint, he wrote, and the next, a sinner. These drastic shifts may reflect not just vanity, but a deeper political crisis. Isabella's reign was plagued by scandal, rebellion, and rumors of illegitimacy. Was she using art to control how history would remember her? Now, fast forward to the early 20th century. One final portrait shakes the foundation of everything we've discussed. A painting of King Alfonso XIII, done in 1910 by Joaquin Sorolla, shows the king in a calm, almost heavenly light. But hidden beneath the top layer, as revealed by X-ray scanning in the early 2000s, is a second face. One that looks nothing like Alfonso, a darker, angrier expression. And strangest of all, this hidden face seems to be looking directly at the viewer. Who is this shadowy figure beneath the paint? Some believe it's a metaphor, an artist's message about the king's duality. Others claim it was someone else entirely, possibly an earlier monarch or a political rival whose image was literally painted over. Now ask yourself, how many more secrets like this lie hidden behind the paint and canvas of history? Throughout Spanish royal history, portraits have served as more than just decoration. They were tools of propaganda, weapons of image control, and sometimes whispers of rebellion. They told one story to the world, but hid another for those who dared to look deeper. And maybe that's the real mystery, not what's shown in these paintings, but what's been carefully hidden. So next time you see a royal portrait, any royal portrait, ask yourself, what are they really trying to tell you? Thanks for watching Old Topic. If history speaks in silence, we're here to listen. Until next time, keep questioning the past, because the truth is always older than the story.